So the next initiative that we want to talk about is our leadership masterclasses, which Paula Simpson is going to talk about. Thanks, Paula.
Thank you, everyone. We are behind time, so I will make it quick, I promise. It's also very warm in here, so please don't drop off in my little slot. It'll only be 5 minutes. As Julian has described, I'm really excited about this whole programme. I think I've been really fortunate to work alongside Jo and the rest of the leadership team in bringing us to where we are. And now it's about how to extend that to the next level, really. We've heard about the mentoring scheme and the coaching skills scheme. I'm going to talk to you briefly about an idea that we've had that hopefully you'll enjoy, which is more of a group initiative, and it relates to the development of a programme of masterclasses. I have to say before I go on that this morning I've attended 4 masterclasses. Steve, your presentation was fantastic, totally out of our kind of area of work, but absolutely relevant to everything that we do. Nikki, really inspiring. So I'm part of your family as well, being a nurse. Really, really inspiring. Andrea, equally, I'm part of your world because I'm a health visitor too. So I was rooting for you and very excited. And Anna, who I have to tell everyone was only asked 2 days ago to present today. And I think you did a remarkable job. And you're part of my family as well in quality and governance. So I feel ridiculously inspired today. And it was very well timed because I needed a little bit of inspiration in my week because I'm having a bit of a tough week. But I don't feel like that anymore. So it's been really inspiring. I think a couple of things really just to pick up on. When I was a very, very new student nurse, 18, green around the gills, knew very little about life, one of the things I very quickly learned about nursing practice is that there's the science to nursing, which is the clinical, technical bit, and the art to nursing, which is the how do you do it. And I learned very quickly, as Nikki described, I worked as a healthcare assistant while I went through university. That gave me my pocket money for my nights out. And I learned very quickly that actually the way you behave is far more important than the technical intervention that you deliver. So people absolutely remember how you made them feel, not necessarily what you did while you were doing it. So I think that's the context really for today. I'm going to pick something up from Steve which really connected with me when he was talking, and that's about creating an environment to flourish. And every single person that we've heard about today has done that for themselves, but more importantly done that for their professional group, for their team, for each other. And that's what is really important about this next layer, if you like, of the leadership development, the Leadership for All programme, which is masterclasses. The other thing that Steve said, which was really important, was about leading self. So this is about providing people with an opportunity to develop yourself. It's the foundation of leadership. And if you're more in tune with yourself and you understand why you respond the way you do under pressure, so the teacup stuff is brilliant. We need to embed that, I think, in our philosophy. If you understand how that relates to your behaviour when you're under pressure, then you can manage that. You can self-manage that. And I think that's something I took from Steve's presentation really clearly. Let's start there. So I'll get to masterclasses now, I promise. Masterclasses then will be... Oh, gosh, here we go. Thanks, Jo. There you go. Will be an interactive opportunity. They're not compulsory. So they are optional for people who want to develop their own leadership skills. And I'm hoping we're going to be absolutely bombed out at these forums. What we're planning is that they will be focused on key areas of development. So they'll absolutely be aligned to our leadership behaviours. And we'll build on the brilliant experience that we've had today, hearing from our own staff. They'll be open to all, as I've said, and they will be short, snappy sessions, an hour max. Probably bi-monthly to start with, but if there's an appetite for more frequency, then we can respond to that. And they will be a mixture of methodologies. So I think what we've heard today are really inspiring stories. I think back to one of my lollipop moments, which is when, through a leadership development programme I was undertaking, I attended a masterclass delivered by Beverly Alimo Metcalf. I don't know if anyone knows her, but she's a very seminal writer around engaging leadership. And I think for the first time, having travelled through many different leadership programmes, I recognised myself. I thought, that's me, that's my style. And you know what? It's okay and it works. And it's okay to bring yourself to the leadership model that you deliver. So there's going to be a mixed methodology. Thanks, Joe. Can you just push me forward? And what we're considering, this is a work in progress, so I want people's feedback. Drop me an email, come and knock on my door. We're thinking inspirational speakers. We've heard from 4 today. I'll extend that to 5 because Joe's always very inspirational. So that is about creating the opportunity for people to get together and be inspired by other people's stories and discussion thereafter. And I think that that's really enormously powerful. Everyday leadership skills. So here, what we're thinking about is absolutely teacup. You know, what is it that changes the way we respond? What impact on all of these behaviours? And actually, if we can manage ourselves better, that's going to really help to influence the impact that we have. So there's something really important for me about impact, understanding what impact you have. Someone said to me once, when I walked down my very long office, she said, Paula, are you okay? You look really unhappy. And I thought, gosh, what expression have I got on my face? I didn't know in that moment that I wasn't smiling as I usually do. So I make every effort to make sure I have a big, broad smile now when I walk down that corridor. But we impact people's emotional well-being in the slightest, tiniest way. So it's really using this methodology to understand everyday leadership skills, using some of our behaviours as a model or a framework for that. Understanding the leadership model, so creating some space in our masterclasses for discussion. So actually, what does it mean to hold people to account? And how do you do that and continue to behave in a caring, considerate manner? Let's have that discussion and actually test out some of those skills. It links really closely to Julian's coaching skills work. And for me, all 3 of these are interlinked: mentoring, coaching, and obviously masterclasses. And then the art of leadership, which is really, really important. Again, possibly through discussion groups, but I'm really keen to gather people's views in terms of what this might look like, really. Somebody picked up in one of their presentations, and I apologise because I can't remember where it came from, the concept of appreciative inquiry. So I know Claire in quality and governance and Anna is part of this process. We do an awful lot of pulling together and analysing information when things don't quite go right. Right, yeah, that's right. How can we turn that on its head and really celebrate? Do you know what? That intervention was superb. It went really well. What was it that made it go well? What were the influencing factors? So those kinds of things. There's very close links to the transformation programme, as Joe has said. So in the same principle as that, I really want people to feed in their ideas. These masterclasses are yours to own, and I'll facilitate pulling together appropriate inspirational speakers, sometimes from outside of the organisation, but often from within the organisation. I've already identified my first. Alina has had some fantastic ideas, so I've already asked her if she can provide some input into this. And I think, just to finalise my little slot, sorry Joe, I didn't think I'd talk for nearly 10 minutes. I was planning on 3. I'm excited too. It's about the 1%. So our masterclasses give us a space, a little bit of thinking time to think through how can we make that 1% improvement, because as Steve said, the little things, if you add them together, make a huge impact. So I'm excited to hear your ideas. Hopefully you'll all come along to our masterclasses and help me to shape the model moving forward. Sorry, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you to all three of the speakers who talked about our new trust initiative. So hopefully you've got some new ideas to take away with you about some of the things that we're doing, and you can look out for more news about those in 2017 when we actually launch them.